Let's talk about delusions. I'm going to read you the definition real quick so you can understand what I'm talking about. A belief or altered reality that is persistently held despite evidence or agreement to the contrary, generally in reference to a mental disorder. Now those who can read the title of this video and those who have been with me, you understand that I am schizophrenic, and majority of schizophrenics generally do have delusions, small or large, or stuck with them for life. I've had an alter between the two smalls and large ones. For the large ones, I will describe in their own videos, for they are stories that you might actually enjoy to listen to through the mind of a schizophrenic and understand a little bit what they go through those times and may others have gone through while experiencing them. However, this episode I'm going to try to talk to you a little bit about what delusions are. Delusions can be as like delusions of grandeur, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, delusions of self-righteousness, delusions that you are someone who you're not, delusions that go along with paranoia, thinking that the government is out after you, etc. like that. So let's talk about some of these types of delusions. Delusions of self-righteousness or grandeur is you're believing that you're of godly substance, or you're better than everyone else because of no good reason, that you are a higher ranking than everyone. That's a grandeur delusion of you're better than everyone. Now that could just be called narcissism or selfishness or whatever you want to call it, but it can become a delusion to some people to the point where it speaks levels about the insanity of their mind. I don't know how to best describe that one because I actually don't have it. I have the opposite, where I actually think so lowly of myself that I feel like if Zach were to leave me, no one will love me, that I'm not good enough, that no one wants to be around me, that I'm going to constantly be abandoned, because I have suffered through abandonment issues, not with my family, but with friends. Anyone who's come into my life, they generally walk away because they can't handle the delusions or hallucinations or the abandonment issues that was caused by others before them. Other delusions include like someone believing that they're the reincarnation of Elvis, or that they are Elvis, or that they're Madonna, you know, those type of things where they believe that they're someone else when in reality they're not. Now that's not me not saying that reincarnation is not real. I am like a 50-50 believer of it. I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I believe it, I don't know if I don't believe it, because there's some cases that sound solid, and there's some cases like, nah, that doesn't sound right. But I do like to talk about that in between Monsters and Men, so if you like about those stories, I'll put that link to them down below. But what we're talking today is about people who don't have any firm grounds on that matter. They don't know anything really about them. They just believe that they're that person, to the point where they're going around telling people that that's their name, etc. You know, this is what they do for a living. I never died. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. That's a delusion. They're deluding. Their brain is not there with reality. Other ones is, like I mentioned, with how it mixes paranoia with believing that the government is after you, if the cops are after you for no good reason, you get abducted by aliens, or that you are an alien, or you've been abducted, but although you don't have a episode or an occurrence memory of it. So those are just some delusions. I've had tons of delusions going through my life, none of which have really impacted anyone in my life except for one big one, and a couple others which my friends had gone through, why I've lost a couple of friends. My smaller ones is what I'm going to talk about now, because those are the ones I'm mentioning are way bigger ones. I just like to have those as their own story times, like I had mentioned before. Let me try to remember some of my delusions, my smaller delusions. I, as a schizophrenic, I do suffer from severe night terrors. I'll get terrible nightmares. I've had them my entire life. I'm so used to them now that I don't wake up from them screaming. I wake up for them and I kind of feel like Stephen King, where I feel like I have to write about them, but I really don't. I just kind of write them down a little bit, and hopefully I'll remember to write them into a book one day. There are some where in my dreams, like, I have killed someone in my dream and the cops are after me, and you can feel that guilt even outside in reality world, and I will wake up literally thinking the cops are after me and I killed someone. And I have turned to Zach one day and I woke him up like, I think the cops are after me. And he's like, why? I'm like, I think I killed someone. He's like, no, you haven't. You haven't killed anyone. It's like, and I'm like, no, it was by Gator Alley Road. Gator Road. I can't remember if it's Gator Alley. It's down in Florida. It's an actual road that's called Gator Alley. I was down in Gator Alley and I dragged the person's body into the water, being eaten by gators, and I think the cops are after me, and because they found evidence, and he's just like, yeah, none of that happened. We haven't been down to Gator Alley in like years. And I'm like, oh yeah. And another reason why I know I didn't kill anyone is because in the dream you couldn't see the person's face or even upper chest area because it was all blurred out from the dream. I was like, ah, that doesn't really make any sense. But I still had that like fear for a couple hours. I was like, I think the cops are after me. And you can literally feel that guilt. That delusion makes you feel those emotions as if they're legitimately there, because your brain has those hormones that when you think something's in reality, it goes with it. Now, mind you, delusions are of the non-reality prospect, but you're stuck in them. That's what kind of that's what psychosis means. However, that's just one. I've had another dream that was similar, that I had done, like, I stolen something from a bank, and I thought the cops were after me, and I felt that fear for a couple hours. I get a lot of dreams about ghosts. I wake up from dreaming of ghosts, and I'll actually respond by waking up and turning, thinking something was right behind me. There was one dream where I was on the beach and something was chasing me, and it was a ghost though. And I felt it like on my back, and I went to turn around in the dream, and I woke up turning around and punching. Luckily Zach was at work, so he didn't get hit or anything. But I woke up thinking something was there. I growled at it. It's a response that I tend to do. I don't like yell or scream. I growl at stuff, kind of like a dog. I don't know. But I responded that way. After that, I had a great sense of fear that something was watching me in my room. And I just kept staring at the corner, thinking that that's where it was. That's where it is. And I was staring at it, and I started like hiding myself underneath the blanket, because, like I said, when you're in that delusion, you think that is real. You think that's happening to you. And it sometimes takes a while for you to get out of that. It took me falling back to sleep and waking back up again to be okay again. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with every delusion, because it doesn't. More delusions I've had, more smaller ones. If I do see a cop behind me even if I'm driving good and doing the speed limit during the turns, I still think they're after me. I still think they're following me, and I constantly have to look, and if someone's talking to me while there's a cop behind me, I freak out. I'm like, shut up! Shut up! They're behind me! And they're just like, it's okay, you're going the speed limit. I'm like, they're behind me, just stay quiet. I freak out. Because I think the cops certainly are after me. It could be them already on the road, or they're just turning behind me to turn somewhere else, and I still think they're after me until, like, they're completely out of sight and out of mind. So that's one that occurs whenever there's a cop behind me. I think almost anyone kind of gets that slight fear, though. And in reality, I think they do. Now, I get delusions almost every single night. I don't really call them not every single night, but I do get them often, and it's with what I told you guys about with, what episode was that I told you guys about? Oh, the hallucinations. About how I would hallucinate about things in the hallway, the shadows. I call those delusions also, kind of, sort of, because you know they're not there. It's just a hallucination. Even when you don't see it anymore, you still believe it's there. You still know, you still think it's there, you still believe it's there. So I kind of part that as a delusion as well, but that's just on me. I don't know if that's really by definition a psychologist would say. One delusion that happened recently, and it was more detailed than normal, was I was watching a show about Charles Manson. I love criminology, I love studying that stuff. I wanted to go into investigation, I wanted to be a police officer, I wanted to go into SWAT at one time. I really wanted to do that type of stuff. I'm really into learning about that stuff now. That doesn't make me a sick mind. I just like learning about that sort of stuff. A lot of people do. A lot of people like that dark type of stuff. Now, I was watching a little video on him about, like, not in him particularly, but about the house that's haunted by the spirits of his victims, the Tate victims, the Tate murder victims. Now, it's not the house that you actually, you know, they died in, but it's like down the street from them. But I was watching something about that on Paranormal Witness, and I didn't even get to finish the episode because I had to go shower. But the moment I looked away from it, I had a sense of fear. Now, remember this though, Charles Manson recently died, and I've had this episode after he died. Now, I was afraid of going into the shower because that after I turned off the TV, I had a great fear that he was after me. And a great fear that Charles Manson's ghost and the ghost of his victims and the ghosts of the people who helped him are coming after me right now. They're gonna kill me right now. They're gonna come after me in the shower. They're gonna kill me with a knife, just like that one movie, Psycho. And I don't like talking to people about exactly what I'm seeing or what I'm having delusions about, because no one really asks me. Like, usually you can tell if I'm having an anti-hallucination, like I mentioned in the hallucination video, by me responding like this, like a sudden twitch, because it will pop in my head and I kind of like try to phase it away. So I know my husband and others see me doing that, but they never ask me, oh, what did you just see? Did you see something? No one really asked me that. I'm actually surprised that they don't, because wouldn't you want to know a little bit about your loved one, what they're seeing, so you can help them and reassure them out of that sort of thing? Like, oh, don't worry, that's not gonna happen. Everything's okay. But they never do, so I don't ever bring it up, because back to being self-doubting, I don't think they care. But that's just me. Obviously, they care enough to stay with, you know, my husband always stays with me and goes through all these things with me. I'm just surprised he doesn't ask about it. But either way, that day I said to him, I'm afraid of going in that bathroom. What I expected him to say, you want me to at least sit in there with you? I can like play the music for you in the background or something and make you feel comfortable, or be by the door. Which usually he actually does when it's nighttime. If I start saying I'm scared to go into the hallway because I'm seeing things, he'll stand by the bathroom door to reassure me and everything like that. But this time he's like, do you want me to send the cat in there with you? No. But thanks. So I was actually a little irritated by that. But I was so angry, not angry, but I was so delusional about what was happening. I was like, whatever. I went in the bathroom and I literally showered as quickly as I possibly could. I was, every corner, I was like, I kept feeling like someone was coming to grab that curtain and pull it, like Psycho, and I never seen that movie. I'll be honest, I should go see the movie, but I have seen that scene, because who hasn't? I just kept thinking he was after me. I kept thinking that until I went to bed that night. I literally thought Charles Manson's ghost was after me. And I bet you all hell that after this video I'm gonna think he's after me again, because I'm bringing it up. But that is one of my most recent delusions, and that is exactly what delusions can be. They make you think that that is reality. They make you think that is really gonna happen. So I'm not gonna mention any more of my other delusions, because the other ones actually have more of a thicker story, a more detailed story about it, with levels of it going on for years. Now, I'm not gonna say they're gonna take years to make that video, but now you understand hopefully a little bit what delusions are for a schizophrenic. Do not go telling them like, that's not real, you're stupid for believing it. Don't go doing that, please. They can't control what they see. They can't control what they hear. They can't control what they feel when that feeling is overwhelming them. You are in a body. Your brain controls everything in that body. It helps with your heart, it helps with your breathing, it helps with you seeing, it helps with you hearing, smelling, it helps with every aspect of your body. That is your motherboard right here. For schizophrenics and other people who suffer with disorders, that motherboard is a little tweak. You cannot call them stupid. You cannot say they're ridiculous. You cannot say anything bad about them, because their brain is tweaked. It's not their fault it's tweaked. Unless if they were on drugs and that's how it occurred. Not saying it occurred with their disorders, but with them being on drugs. Don't call them stupid either. They need help. And guess what? People with disorders need help. And those people who have help and they still have those episodes, you have no right to call them names, no right to do anything like that. You are the bad person then. You are the enemy. You are the person who should up and should go get help yourself, because that makes you a nasty person. Like that said, I never had run into any people like that, but I've had heard of stories, people who had to suffer through that, and I feel terrible for them. Because the last person anyone like us want to see is people who treat us like crap, because it's something we can't control. That is just nastiness. So people, if you've known anyone who suffered from schizophrenia or anything that has to go through anything like this, be reassured. Like, I don't know if other schizophrenics are like me, where I don't mind telling them the stories of my life or my episodes or what I'm seeing or hearing, because I'm a storyteller. I love telling about my stories. I love speaking. I want to write books one day. Others might be a little bit more concealed, where they don't want to talk about it because they're frightened because of people who've called them nasty names. But maybe, you know, ask them, like, you want to tell me a little bit of your stories? I wouldn't mind hearing them to understand your point of view. They might actually open up, and they might actually feel safe and okay. Like, the world won't treat them like shit for having stuff they can't control. So I hope that is okay with you guys. I hope that this video was a little bit more informative about delusions. I will be coming out with that series, so keep an eye out with them. One day, I just want to figure out which one I do first. There's two major ones that really affect it. Three major ones. Yeah, I can't forget that one. There's three major ones that really affected me, so expect those videos up eventually. I hope you liked this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please remember, this is not mostly a mental health channel. It's mostly a makeup channel. I've been doing more mental health videos because I've been going through a lot of mental health issues and episodes lately, and I feel like it's best for me to get this out into the world, since the world is starting to slowly come out about these disorders. What better way to help those who want to learn more than come out here and explain it from a real person's point of view. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please have a wonderful day.